of devastation and some relief after Typhoon Haiyan. Tacloban, Philippines, CNN. Surrounded by rubble, children swarmed around a public well in the storm-ravaged city, where bodies are still lying in the street days after a deadly typhoon struck. The children doused themselves with water and filled plastic cups and jugs. Even though we're not sure that is clean and safe, Resoda, some pets said, we still drink it, because we need to survive. This scene on the street in the city of Tacloban is one of many CNN reporters and others have witnessed as residents deal with the death and destruction that Typhoon Haiyan left behind when the massive storm tore through the Philippines. Worse than hail in typhoon-ravaged Philippines. We don't have anything to eat. As they search for loved ones lost in the storm, desperate survivors ask for help. Our house got demolished, one woman told CNN, affiliate ABS-CBN. My father died after being hit by a falling wooden debris. We're calling for your help. If possible, please bring us food. We don't have anything to eat. A man begged for forgiveness because he couldn't save his daughter from wrath. Separated from each other when the storm waves hit. He told ABS-CBN. We got separated. I couldn't even hold on to my child. Another man said he was still trying to find 6 family members. My child has been buried in that island, he said. I'm going to die. Shirley Lim still remembers the sound she heard as the storm struck. The wind was so strong that someone was crying. It's like the movie Twister, she said. Speaking to CNN Monday from the city of Coron, Lim said, one thought ran through her mind during the storm. I'm going to die. But Lim survived. Many homes in Coron were severely damaged by the typhoon, he said, as the howling winds ripped through of houses made of light material like bamboo. Prisoner inmates threatened broke out. A man stands on a rooftop threatening to jump. He is one of 672 inmates at the Tacloban prison, where food and water supplies ran out on Monday. Now, the prison's warden said that inmates have given him a warning, threatening a mass breakout in 1 or 2 days if they don't get food and water. From the prison's rooftop, the inmate said he is devastated that he doesn't mention food or drink. He said he doesn't know what happened to his family during the storm. Desperate victims at the airport. Magna Fernandez's voice cracked as she conveyed news with President Benigno Acuna III at Tacloban Airport. Help, she said, has come quickly in. We need to get the word out, she tells him, because the Philippines government can't do this alone. Fernandez was among the steady stream of typhoon victims arriving at the airport, searching the food, water, and a chance to escape. She tells CNN she is desperate to leave the city. Get international help to come here, not tomorrow, she says. This is really like bad, worse than hell. Worse than hell. Water, wind, and fire create catastrophe. Beer sprayed Rachel Young wears the plague around his neck. He has been carrying it since Saturday night when small groups started forming to defend his neighborhood. They stay up all night, he says, prepared to wrestle if they saw any looting. But pistols aren't the only thing they have, he says. Many also are carrying weapons. As long as they don't harm my kids, that's okay, he says. But once we are threatened, we will shoot. All of us, we're ready. Already, the Filipino businessman says he's been shocked at the looting he's seen in the city. Not just food, he said, but large appliances like refrigerators and washing machines. Thieves, he says, have already ransacked up and up in Tacloban, were almost 98% Catholics. And I can't believe that, Dallas, he says. Nobody would think it's going to be lawlessness. We're just floating. Tacloban City Councilor Cristina Gonzalez Remolades and her husband, Mayor Alfred Remolades, were at their home facing the Pacific Ocean when the storm surge came. CNN affiliate ABC-CBS reported Tuesday. Suddenly, water burst into home and rose so quickly, the people inside had to punch holes in the ceiling and climb to the second floor to avoid being swept away. Gonzalo Romalda told the network. She found herself worried she would be swept up to sea. I was holding it, she said. Bodies everywhere. Days after the storm hit, bodies remained everywhere, some crudely covered, others exposed to the burning sun, CNN's Paula Hancock reports. Two bodies on one large and one small lay under what appeared to be a bus shelter below a sign with the phrase, I heard Tacloban. Officials tell Hancock that they're focusing on the living, but the bodies pose a health risk to survivors. The stench is overpowering, she said, shocked by the devastation. Sebastian Rades, knows that UN disaster assessment team's trip has been to some of the worst crisis zones in the world. The devastation from Typhoon Haiyan simply took his breath away when he set foot in Tacloban. I have to say I was caught by surprise, he said Monday, just getting off the military transport and looking at the airport. It almost wasn't there. It was utterly destroyed. Traveling the region, he has seen huge boats thrown from the seas wheel up onto shore, and buildings knocked flat by the towering storm surge. In all, he has seen appalling devastation and tragedy. Checkpoints on crucial road. Police checkpoints appeared Monday on the 9-mile, 15-kilometer road from the airport to Tacloban. Officers told Hancock desperate residents looking for food and water have been jumping onto trucks leaving the airport. But CNN's Andrew Steve spent 3 to 4 hours in bumper-to-bumper traffic on the airport road has saw no a truck. We're still going past dead bodies. We're still going past a shattered landscape, he reported. Count to increase to bring supplies into the city. Hundreds volunteered to pay aid. At the Provincial Welfare Office in Quebec, hundreds of volunteers packed food and supplies into sturdy white bags. An employee who gives his name as Richard tells CNN Anna Curran that students, workers and even tourists from Germany had arrived to help. "I'm deeply Dutch," he said. Hospital without supplies. A hand-drawn sign at the front of Street Post Hospital in Tacloban gives a sense of the dire situation there. No admissions, it says, no supplies. Interactive map of the storm. Elaborate a large private hospital in this storm-ravaged city. Workers use hand lamps for light as they perform emergency first aid on victims who street in with wounds from flying debris. "We just can't keep going," one doctor says. "There are just no supplies." Children rip from arms, searching for family lost in the storm. Splintered wood beams cover the ground where roads once connected a neighborhood near the coastline. Here, the stone surge plowed down homes, leaving behind mounds and rubble as far as the eye can see. Authorities plead with residents in the coastal area to evacuate as the storm approaches. It's unclear how many days and may be missing. Amid the chaos, one man said he is searching for his father, brothers, and uncles under the rubble. "We all tried to leave, but it was too late," he said. "I got separated when the water started rising. I don't know what happened to land." Devastation for miles. From the air, the damage to Tacloban is striking. Of moved down on hills surrounding the city. Inside the city, the damage is catastrophic. The storm surge shook massive freight ships ashore. Many buildings were flattened. Those have ripped away fever water storm. William Hotchkiss, General Director of Philippine Civil Aviation Authority, said he's never seen anything like it in decades of flying over the country after storm. He says he fears his country faces more disasters like this in the future. The biggest challenge, he says, is to sort of come up with structure that will take into consideration what they call the new snowball, storms that are maybe as destructive as this one.